Lavender Wedding by Hazel GrandHart.
Atlas stared at his computer screen. The flashing cursor blinked on the title. 5 surefire signs you've met the one. Another clickbait article with no substance and an easy paycheck. He'd copied most of it from an older piece. 10 things your partner does to show they care. Not that it really mattered. Most readers skimmed the bullet points for 30 seconds and clicked off. As long as the ads loaded, the company got paid. Journalism at its finest. Truthfully, Atlas wanted to report on something meaningful. Politics were in a full-blown mess, but every time he turned on his phone and skimmed the headlines, he felt defeated all over again. The current administration churned out a new controversy daily, using big claims like smoke bombs, distractions, confusion, and rage bait. The negativity lingered like a fog. Maybe these fluffy listicles were exactly what he needed right now. Still, the title held him. He kept reading it, again and again, almost like he needed reassurance. His relationship, his one constant. Atlas had met Oliver at a mutual friend's Halloween party. They hit it off instantly, and Atlas called him the next day to ask him out for coffee. Oliver worked in local government, a typical 9-to-5 cubicle job. Something Atlas would have clawed his eyes out doing. But Oliver loved the structure. He liked knowing his work directly helped his community instead of becoming lost in the bloated machinery of DC. Atlas had used him as a reference for local political pieces, but lately everything he wrote had been reduced to clickbait. 7 foods to help your stomach, 3 clear signs of a narcissist, whatever his publisher tossed at him. But this article made him think of Oliver. They align with your beliefs. They encourage you to grow. You feel safe with them. You have shared goals. You miss them when they're gone. Every point fit Oliver perfectly. Atlas felt his heart race. He wanted to scold himself for acting like a dreamy teenager, but that's exactly how he felt. So much so that this morning, on his way to the coffee shop, he'd passed a going-out business jewelry store and impulsively bought a ring. It now sat beside his laptop. He had no idea if it was the right size, but he knew Oliver's taste: simple, sensible, classic. A white gold band, nothing flashy. The only thing that would have made it more perfect was if the store donated part of the proceeds to some earth-saving charity. Still, it was understated and honest. Just like Oliver. Just like their love. A love that had spent 3 years quietly growing into something safe and consistent. Something he could rely on. What he hadn't figured out was how he would actually give Oliver the ring. That's when Oliver burst through the front door, arms overloaded with groceries. A box of cereal slipped free and thudded onto the floor. Atlas looked over his shoulder. "You know you can do 2 trips?" Atlas said, swiveling his chair toward him. 2 trips are for the week, Oliver said, dumping everything onto the counter. "Text me next time. I'll meet you downstairs and help," Atlas said, getting up. "You were busy. I didn't want to interrupt the creative process," Oliver said, heading back for the cereal. Atlas snorted, as if listicles required creativity. Oliver crouched to grab the cereal box, and without thinking, without planning, without breathing, Atlas dropped to one knee. Oliver turned, froze, and dropped the cereal again. "So," Atlas said in a daze, not entirely sure he was still in his own body. "Are you serious?" Oliver asked, eyes wide. "I mean, why not?" Atlas said, laughing at himself. "You stupid fool," Oliver laughed, covering his face with his hands. "I mean, why not? So that's a yes?" Atlas rose. Yes, you fool." Oliver grabbed Atlas's face and kissed him. Atlas's heart was pounding. He felt like he'd won something huge. Oliver looked just as stunned, cheeks flushed, smile crooked and bright. "Do you want?" Atlas began. "Yes, give it." Oliver demanded, snatching the ring box and sprinting across the room. Atlas bent to pick up the cereal box, and behind him he heard Oliver gasp, an excited little squeak, as he opened the box. Atlas put the cereal away and leaned against the wall, smiling as Oliver paced around the apartment, staring at his hand like he'd never seen it before. "Oh my God, I need to call my mom. And Kim. And I need to post a picture. And we have to tell Morgan, we met at her party. She should be a bridesmaid. Oh my God, we need to plan the wedding." Then Oliver stopped, completely still. Atlas pushed off the wall and approached him. Oliver stared at the ring. His voice dropped. "Hey, you don't actually think they're going to get rid of gay marriage, right?" Atlas's breath caught. He reached out and pulled Oliver into his arms. "No," he murmured into Oliver's hair. "That's just clickbait.